This moment defined Real Madrid's history for the following decade, and it all started with the hunt for La Decima. In June 2013, Carlo Ancelotti was appointed manager of Real Madrid, succeeding Jose Mourinho. The task wasn't easy for the Italian manager, and not only because of Real Madrid's lofty ambitions. At the time, Jose Mourinho improved the Spanish club's gameplay and outlook, but he left with a bit of a scandal. He had a fallout with the dressing room leadership figures, and that led to a bit of a disarray at the club, allegedly. Carlo Ancelotti held managerial positions at several clubs before joining Los Blancos, the most prominent one being the period he spent at AC Milan between 2001 and 2009. After leaving AC Milan, he led Chelsea and Paris Saint-Germain, but the results weren't the same. During the first transfer window under Carlo Ancelotti, Real Madrid brought in Isco, Asiri Aramendi and Gareth Bale, and sold Mesut Ozil and Gonzalo Higuain among others. Ancelotti started the season with a 4-2-3-1 system, but quickly changed to the old 4-3-3 setup used during the Jose Mourinho era. The team had the players to make it work. Despite leading in the league table on multiple occasions, Real Madrid finished the season in third place, level on points with Barcelona, and 3 behind the rivals Atletico Madrid, collecting 87 points in total and scoring a record 104 goals. Los Blancos, however, won the Copa del Rey thanks to the winning goal scored by Gareth Bale, but the major result came in the UEFA Champions League. The 2014 UEFA Champions League final was the 59th edition in the competition's history and the 22nd one since it was renamed as the UEFA Champions League. The final brought together Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid and became the final stage of the hunt for La Decima for Los Blancos. Both teams won their groups, earning 16 points, so the early signs were there. The funny thing is that Real Madrid faced only German clubs on the path to the final, with Schalke, Borussia Dortmund and Bayern München. While in parallel, Atletico Madrid's opponents were diverse in terms of country of origin, with AC Milan, FC Barcelona and Chelsea. The final was the first final in the history of the competition to be disputed by two teams from the same city. It was also the second all-Spanish final after the 2001 between Real Madrid and Valencia and the fifth final between teams from the same country, the others being 2003 Italy, 2008 England and 2013 Germany. That was a record-breaking final for Los Blancos, being the 13th one the team has reached in the competition and the 17th European one in their history. Atletico Madrid, however, just won the La Liga a week prior, disputing it until the last second against Barcelona, and the Champions League was their second European final in 40 years. The match started strong and both teams went at it, trying to score first. But, against expectations maybe, Atletico Madrid scored the first goal, taking advantage of a mistake made by the legendary Iker Casillas, who mistimed coming out of his line to deflect the ball. Diego Godin smashed all La Decima dreams in the 36th minute. The second half saw Real pushing forward as they went in search of an equalizer to deny Atletico's first Champions League title, with manager Carlo Ancelotti making a double substitution to replace Fabio Coentrao and Khedira with Marcelo and Isco. Atletico defended with all the players, and Real missed several chances. However, as the seconds ticked like hours for both teams, fate decided that the game was too good to end in regular time. And through a clean header from Sergio Ramos, Real Madrid equalized in stoppage time and revived their dream, crushing Atletico's in the process. The extra time came, and it was all Real Madrid. Unfortunately for them, Atletico seemed down, without being able to come back after the equalizer, and Real took advantage, scoring another 3 goals to settle the final 4-1 and kickstart one of the most dominant periods in the competition's modern history. Tactically, both managers, Carlo Ancelotti and Diego Simeone, went after the trophy with all they got. And if it weren't for the stoppage time set-piece goal, Diego Simeone's defensive wall would have won his team the trophy. Carlo Ancelotti, remaining faithful to the 4-3-3 system, attacked and attacked until a crack was open and his team burst through it and avenged all the chances they missed during the game. And the final, in my opinion, was a testament of that La Liga season, which was won by Diego Simeone's grit and calculated defensive approach. But on the day, Real Madrid's brilliant attack, who scored 104 goals in the league, out of which 97 scored by Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema and Gareth Bale, made the difference in the end. The 4-3-3 tactical setup employed by Carlo Ancelotti was formed on the basis of counterattack left by Jose Mourinho and was improved through control of the ball and decisive attacks. There are several recreations of this setup out there, and the following one is my own, but feel free to tweak it as you think it's best. The sweeper keeper on defense duty was chosen as this role, in my opinion, is the most balanced one in goal in the game, providing defensive stability and the passing option if needed. The back four is made of a fullback on support, a central defender on defend, a ball-playing defender on defend, and a complete wingback on attack. The fullback role is meant to emulate Dani Carvajal's game in that final and for most of that season. Real Madrid seemed to have always preferred the more conservative right back as opposed to the other flank. Dribbles was added as player instruction to make sure the player passes the ball as soon as the opportunity arises. For the center backs, the roles can be interchanged. Sergio Ramos and Rafael Varane were both capable of playing out of the back. I chose these two roles for defensive stability in the game, but both can be ball-playing ones. And the complete wingback role was chosen to emulate how Fabio Coentrao and Marcelo played on that side of the pitch. The wingback on attack may also do the job here if you think that you need to be more balanced in the defensive shape. Personally, having Marcelo in my mind, the complete wingback role fits better. And because the left back pushes up the pitch often, I asked the left-sided center back to stay wider when the team has the possession of the ball to balance the defensive shape and try to stop attacks until the left back returns to his position. For the defensive midfielder, I chose a deep line playmaker role on defend. But given that Sami Khedira was more defensive minded and he played the final, a defensive midfielder role on defend would also work here. Personally, I wanted to have the best of both worlds, possession and defense, so the DLP role on defend. The two central midfielder roles are my favorite pairing, the central midfielder on support and the box-to-box midfielder. Angel Di Maria controlled his side of the pitch very well and seemed to play like a box-to-box player during that season. In-game, he was a combination of the carrilero and the box-to-box role. Luka Modric, on the other hand, was the passing hub of the team, picking up the ball and finding his teammates with pinpoint passes in attack. But these two roles are also interchangeable. I haven't added any player instructions for the central midfielder, which means that in the game, the player will prioritize the play based on their player traits most likely. For the box-to-box midfielder, I added the player instructions of more direct passes, running the ball and stay wider. The BBC trio, as it was dubbed that season, is made of an inside forward on attack, a trequartista and a complete forward on support duty. Gareth Bale, in the final and in that season, cut inside often with the ball, breaching the opposition's defense and scoring goals often. For this reason, I chose this role. However, choosing an in-game role for Cristiano Ronaldo in his prime is very difficult. I usually go for an inside forward on attack for him as well, but for that final and especially that season, I feel like he was more of a creative and clinical striker, and the only role I found fitting is the trequartista one. Of course, I asked him to cut inside with the ball to try to fully emulate his gameplay. And the striker, Karim Benzema, seemed to prioritize creating goal-scoring chances for his attacking teammates before trying to score himself. And this role and this duty seemed to fit that gameplay the best. I chose positivist mentality. In possession, fairly wide attacking width, pass into space and play out of defense. If your opponent sits deep, take pass into space off as there would be little space to pass into. Slightly shorter or standard passing directness and a slightly higher tempo. Play for set pieces and of course, having a collection of such talented players calls for the be more expressive team instruction. But take it off if the players in your squad are not at the level Real Madrid's were at during that season. In transition, counter-press, counter and distribute the ball to the defense. And out of possession, a mid-block and a higher defensive line. And trigger press more often. The same as the last couple of seasons in real life, Carlo Ancelotti seemed to have preferred the mid-block to let the opposition build up from the back and catch them in the midfield battle, before going on the counter when possible. Using this tactic, we were almost unbeaten in the league in my modified database, building a nation save in Romania with FCSB. The 2013-2014 season was special for many reasons. For Atletico Madrid, was special as they won the league title and played another European final after 40 years. And for Real Madrid, because they won the La Decima, their 10th Champions League trophy. You may love or hate what happened during that Champions League final, but one thing remains: this tactic, and the many ways it can be recreated.